strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know it. I know it. Yeah, what kind of things are going on here this morning? Sexual situations, all kinds of interesting stuff that they're saying that we're about to do here. Definitely not stuff that you want to see on camera. So anyways, how are you? Today is Friday, July the 1st. Yes. Yes. It is day 182 of the year and only 183 days remaining. So what does this mean? Starting tomorrow, the downward spiral will start taking place, meaning that we are past the halfway point and everything from this point on is getting closer and closer to 2023 as the downhill spiral starts off. Anyways, how are you? I hope everything was fantastic over the last 23. Because that's going to be important. Of course, hanging out, doing the things that you get to do. So let's ask the important question, because it is a big day for some people out there, because it is the finale, the season finale. I'm not sure if it's the series finale. I think it's the season finale, but who the hell knows? It could be the series finale, but don't quote me. Of Stranger Things. The last 2 episodes of the season did come out today. I know some people are excited about that. Did you stay up? Did you get up early? Were you a 3 a.m.er on the East Coast to make sure that you were able to watch it? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Anyways, with that being said, we are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM. And then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place that we do stuff at.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
So with that being said, doing all the stuff that we get to do, well, it's important to talk about. It's important to take a look. It's important to take a gander. But yes, we are hanging out with the friends at RadioBig.fm. You know, they are the music side of the station. I was talking to some people yesterday about getting on a bigger Heartform platform, but who knows? Kind of hard to talk to some of these people sometimes in regards to getting some of that stuff done, but I guess we could talk about that later on. Anyways, with that being said, let's continue talking right away. But I guess before I get into this next portion, I should talk about it. It is Friday, which is July the 1st, which we did mention at the beginning, but this also means that it's Freeform Friday. So with that being said, we could be just going into a whole slew of things because we normally try to make no rhyme or reason of what we have going on today. Take a look at some of the news stories that we were unable to get to earlier in the week, and hopefully we try to go down that path and talk about some of those things if we're able to do so. If we're unable to, then we kind of jump around and just see what's going on inside of the interwebs, and you're able to interact with the show still by going to callinradio.com. That is callinradio.com, and that will get us moving and grooving and doing all the fun stuff that we get to do here. So with that being said, I guess we should start talking right away about what was trending yesterday, because that's going to be important, what was trending and what is trending in the top 10. So let's do that real quick. So anyways, Ketanji Brown Jackson landed in Twitter's top 10 as of Thursday after being sworn in as the newest member of the Supreme Court. Remain in Mexico was trending after the SCOTUS, you know what that means, you know what that means, right? The Supreme Court of the United States ended the former President Trump's policy. And then Twitter users celebrated Social Media Day yesterday by posting social media just like every other day of the year. So I just don't understand how that was such a big day to talk about yesterday. Anyways, in talking about some things that were coming up yesterday, we did mention this, and I guess I can talk about it now once again. But starting the 6th, which is Wednesday of next week, you will start seeing our newest addition to our little broadcast and podcast world. And you'll be able to start taking a listen to the True Safety Podcast with Apollonia Rockwell on our radio station at safetyfm.com. And you, of course, will start seeing it in the podcast network as well. Apollonia has been doing her thing for quite some time here, but now she is joining our network of things. So there you go. So if you do get a chance, show her some love on the sext as she gets moving and grooving on safetyfm.com or safetyfm.live as we'll get that moving over there. So if you're new to this, it's on the Friday version. It's much different, I guess, than what we kind of do throughout the week. So what does that mean to you? Well, it means on, but also at the same time, it gets a little bit crazier because we kind of go a little bit all over the place. And then on top of that, to make it even more interesting, well, what else do we do? Well, we kind of have no rhyme or reason of what's going on. So it's safety in the news and safety, and then we just kind of go everywhere with it because we just don't know on what factor it's going to go next. But I have some people that are very regimented, so if I don't turn around and give them the news first thing in the morning, they tend to get upset at me. So I don't like people being super upset. Upset's okay, just not super upset, because then I want to give them a cape, because then they'll become upset and then super upset. You get what I'm saying there? I hope you do. Anyways, with that being said, let's move forward in getting you right directly into the news.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Biden will hold a virtual meeting with state governors today over abortion rights. The meeting comes 1 week after the Supreme Court overturned the 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling that led to legalized abortion in the U.S. Biden is accusing the Supreme Court of committing outrageous behavior by reversing abortion rights. Speaking after a NATO summit in Madrid, Biden said the protections provided by the now overturned Roe v. Wade should be codified into law.
And the way to do that is to make sure the Congress votes to do that. And if the filibuster gets in the way, it's like voting rights. It should be, we provide an exception for this, require an exception to the filibuster for this action.
The president said the High Court's conservative majority is jeopardizing privacy rights. He called the court's actions destabilizing, but rejected suggestions about the U.S. moving backward in the eyes of other civilized nations. After the meeting with governors today, the president will be spending the 4th of July holiday weekend at Camp David. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is furious over the court's ruling that the Biden administration can revoke the Remain in Mexico policy. More from Mark Mayfield.
The Republican says Thursday's decision only enables the White House to keep the Mexican border open. He says Biden's policies enabled human smugglers to sneak an 18-wheeler full of illegal immigrants into Texas. 53 of the migrants died from heat-related illnesses. The Remain in Mexico program let the federal government hold those seeking asylum in Mexico, while an immigration court processed their cases. I'm Mark Mayfield.
WNBA star Brittany Griner will stand trial today in a Moscow courtroom on charges of smuggling drugs into Russia. Russian officials claim they found vape cartridges containing hashish oil in Griner's luggage at a Mexico airport earlier this year. She's been detained since February and faces 10 years in jail if convicted. Her supporters in the U.S. are calling on President Biden to negotiate a prisoner swap. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
From FSN in London, I'm Nina Maria Potts with the latest world headlines. Hong Kong is marking its 25-year anniversary since the United Kingdom handed it back to China. Xi Jinping is on his first trip outside the mainland in 2 years. American WNBA star Brittany Griner is set to stand trial on drug charges in a court in Moscow after Russian officials accused her of carrying hashish oil. And North Korea says it has identified the culprit behind its explosive COVID-19 outbreak, and that's South Korea.
Rated R Safety Show.
Sarcastic? Never.
It's strike averted for most Atlantic City, New Jersey casinos where workers had threatened to walk off the job heading into the holiday weekend. Jennifer Polsoni reports.
Tentative agreements reached between the union and MGM Resorts International and Caesars Entertainment, meaning no strike at the Borgata, Caesars, Harrah's, and the Tropicana. The head of Unite Here Local 54 saying in a statement the deal that must be approved by members before being made final is a big victory for the thousands of casino workers, middle-class jobs, and the Atlantic City economy heading into July 4th weekend. A fifth casino, the Hard Rock, still faces a strike deadline of early Sunday.
July 1st brings a lot of new laws to states around the country. Brian Shook with details.
In Virginia, there's a law lifting restrictions on facial recognition technology police can use. In Florida, lawmakers approved a bill that designates strawberry shortcake as the state's official dessert. Several states are raising the minimum wage. Chicago's minimum wage will increase to $15 per hour. In Indiana, people will no longer need a permit to carry a handgun in the state. I'm Brian Shook.
Netflix crashed all around the world as millions of viewers tried to stream Stranger Things 4 Volume 2. The highly anticipated episodes dropped at midnight Pacific time, and Netflix went down around the world, including Australia, India, and the U.S. just a few minutes later. Global uptime monitoring website DownDetector.com saw a spike in users reporting problems with Netflix right around the release time of the new episodes. There's no word yet from Netflix on what might have caused the crash. Spider-Man Beyond Amazing, the exhibition, opens today at San Diego's Comic-Con Museum. It's the world premiere for the Spider-Man exhibit, which includes never-before-seen items and interactive experiences. The exhibit runs through the end of the year. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession.
Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
Have you ever wanted to start live streaming and were not sure how to do it? You can start live streaming up to 40 social media platforms all at one time for as little as nada. It's going to cost you your time. That is what it's going to cost. You can pre-record, you can live stream, you can do a multitude of things. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.com/one. That's safetyfm.com, ONE.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
Why is it always about self-imploding on the airways that it seems like that we talk about here? What is going on that there is self-implosion going on all the time? Anyways, currently, let's see, 17 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out and doing all the kind of fun stuff that we get to do together. So there you go. So anyways, let's get back into it, talking, moving, grooving, and everything along those lines. So let's take a look-see real quick. In regards of what is going on out there, Russia is doing the best to be benevolent in the invasionary force. So take a listen to this. Its defense ministry has announced that they are abandoning their presence on the Ukraine Snake Island. It's a small plot of land, but it's a key to the facility for the Ukrainian robust grain export industry. Russia says that returning control demonstrates that the world to the world community that the Russian Federation does not hinder the efforts of the UN to organize a humanitarian corridor for exports of agricultural products in the territory of Ukraine. But wait! Ukraine officials' position is that their troops drove Russia from the island. So who knows? At the G7 gathering, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson joked that world leaders should have taken their shirts off to show they're tougher than Vladimir Putin, who routinely stages shirtless photos doing macho activities like punching crocodiles and wrestling bears. What has happened here? Putin fired back by telling reporters, I don't know how they wanted to get undressed below the waist, but I think that it would be a disgusting sight in that case. He also encouraged his counterparts to stop abusing alcohol and other bad habits that do physical exercise and take part in sports. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, who the hell knows? Just get some people some TRX straps and let them go from there. What the hell's going on?
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go with some information right away in regards of moving forward and talking about some things that are going on inside of this particular world of ours. So if we take a look around and we take a look at this and then we take a look at that, how do the news stories kind of correlate together? Well, I don't know if there's any correlation. It's just definitely new stuff. So that's one way to look at it. Also, before I forget, if you are hanging out on the social media aspect or on the radio station, and if you want to interact with the show, you have to go to callinradio.com. You don't have to, but if you want to, it'll make life easier because that will make the ring-a-ding-ding come through here on this board or the messaging through the computer system or the video chat, however you would like to deem that necessary, and tell us your important thing about what's going on Friday. So maybe that's one way to take a look at it. Anyway, quadruple jab, triple mask. Anthony Fauci says that he expressed a rebound of COVID symptoms even after finishing Pfizer's treatment course. He reportedly began another round of such treatment. Meanwhile, in Ireland, chief medical officers report that a plurality of hospitalized people directly from COVID have been triple jabbed at 46%, while 19% had 2 shots and 35% only had 1. Nearly half of the people in Ireland hospitalized with COVID only discovered their diagnosis after being tested following an admission for another reason. So there you go. I don't know. Sounds like some interesting stuff to talk about because that's what I'm doing right now, talking about it. Anyways, the 4th of July is the most common day for household pets to go missing, according to researchers at Pet Amber Alert. They chalk it up to fireworks spooking the animals and causing them to run away. Here are the top tips to prevent this from happening for your pets to stay with you. At number 5, be proactive and get your pet chipped and put a GPS on their collar. Number 4, act normal yourself, especially if the pets who take their cues from you. And number 3, try to drown out the fireworks explosion with a TV noise or music, or just probably playing some other fireworks. Oh no, maybe that's not a good idea. And number 2, go out of your way to help your pets feel safe with petting them and treats. We're still talking about animal control here, right? Okay, and then stay inside. At number 1, stay inside and ensure that their leash if you had to take them out for a walk. So there you go. Some stuff to think about in regards of how to maintain and take care of your pet during this very important time of the year. Anyways, there were 19% more houses on the market on June over previous year, but it's still half of the pre-COVID levels. CNBC reports that the median listing for price in June hit a high of $450,000. So think about that. The median home in the United States of America is $450,000 in the month of June. That sounds a little interesting stuff for sure. Anyways, let's continue talking. China's space agency has reported it has completed a mission to fully photograph the surface of Mars. The Taiwan probe completed 1,344 orbits of the red planet since arriving in May of last year. It also deployed a rover to the surface, making it the third country to successfully put a spacecraft on the planet after the former Soviet Union and the United States. So it makes it pretty interesting on how that is going around and about and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, think about it. It is pretty interesting. Really, seriously, think about it for a moment. Anyways, with that being said, let's get into some other stuff that brings in some Johnny Smalls and let him tell us about what's going on inside of the market.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Friday, July 1st, 2022. Equity markets pulled back again Thursday due to the ever-increasing fear of inflation, recession, and earnings decline. The move was mitigated, however, by a slightly weaker than expected PCE price index that confirms inflation hit a peak earlier this year. The index cooled by 0.2% on a year-over-year basis, but remained very high at 4.7%. At this level, the pace of inflation is double the FOMC's target and has been running at this rate for well over a year, and the impact on consumers is growing by the day. At face value, the cost of an item worth $100 2 years ago now costs $108.35, and that's not counting the impact of real inflation, as in the cost of fuel and housing. That's up double digits over the past 2 years and cutting deeply into consumer spending. Next week will bring no reprieve for the markets. While there are not many earnings reports to be aware of, the market will be getting another look at the employment situation, and we're expecting the data to confirm tight labor markets, rising wages, and stagflation. You can get the inside track at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for letting us know what is going on inside of the world of the market, because that is always important to talk about, discuss, and move forward with. There is no doubt and ifs and buts about it. So thank you very much for that one. Let me tell you a little bit about what we found on this other side. The Dow lost about 253 points on Thursday, closing at 30,775. The S&P 500 lost about 33.45 points, closing at 3,785, and marked its worst first half since the 1962s in terms of percentage loss. The Nasdaq lost about 149 points. Both Brent crude and West Texas Intermediate traded at under $110 a barrel on Thursday. The national average of price of a gallon of gas has slipped down to $4.86, and we're hoping for some more slipping. Let's see. Bitcoin took a beating on Thursday, losing about $1,237.70 to close at $18,855.80. On Thursday, there was 3,165 delayed flights within, into, or out of the United States and 438 cancellations. And why do I bring up this flight thing as of late? Because people are traveling And so we need to let you know what the hell was going on because last week, I think we had one day that it was like 6,700 flights that were all over the place. So we need to let you know what the hell is going on inside of there just for the sake of doing so. So there you go. So with this being said, let's talk a little bit more about what is going on. So if you are a recluse, yes, like yours truly here, I got some stuff for you about what's going to be going on inside of the world of the charts, meaning what will be released on video on demand services coming up your way this weekend, if you're taking a look at that. New to Amazon Prime will be The Terminal List, a very Brady sequel, Betrayed, Cedar Rapids, and Clueless. New to Disney Plus will be The Good, the Bad, and The Hungry. And new to HBO will be A Kind of Murder, Baggage Claim, Code of Silence, Godzilla, and Hollow Man. And then new to Hulu will be The Princess, Any Given Sunday, Black Knight, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Bride Wars. And new to Netflix is Big Daddy Boogie Nights, Catch Me If You Can, Deliverance, Goodfellas, and well, then of course you know what else is going on there, which will be Stranger Things. But that's of course if you can actually make sure that the thing is actually up and running. Now I want to make sure that I'm very precise here when I reference this. Stranger Things, with it being the two episodes for the finale of season 4. It's only 2 episodes, and people crash this thing with only 2 epis. So you could imagine the watch on there. So I am going to tell you that if you are a fan of that show and you don't want somebody to ruin it for you, stay away from social media platforms at all levels necessary, because it sounds like it's going to be one of those kind of days. If you could make sure to avoid it at all costs. At all costs, it sounds like that's the way to take a look at it. So let's start talking about some things that are going on inside of the news. We're going to go all over the place as we are talking here. So where do you want to go? Let's take a listen to this one. Man turns down $10,000 to leave a flight. A magazine writer is speaking about being offered and turning down a lot of money to leave a Delta flight from Grand Rapids to Minneapolis. Jason Atten, a tech writer for the magazine, says the passengers thought they misheard the announcement that Delta was giving away $10,000 to whoever would leave the flight. Take a listen.
I know $10,000 seems like a lot of money, but you have to realize that, first of all, it doesn't sink in that this is really what they were offering. And second of all, try to do the math of how many people are going to get off the plane and how they're going to still get to, we're in Alaska right now.
Atten says they had 8 people in their party headed to Alaska, 4 of them being kids, and stayed on the plane. He says that he has never been offered that much to leave a flight. Inc. magazine writer Jason Atten says that Delta Airlines offered $10,000 for people to leave the flight on Monday from Grand Rapids to Minneapolis.
I know the airlines canceled about 2,500 flights over the weekend, and they were probably so backed up trying to get people where they were going that they just had to take some extraordinary measures in order to try to get everybody where they were going.
So let's ask that question real quick. If you were offered $10,000 to leave a flight and you had to be delayed by a day, would you do it? I mean, we're talking $10,000 here. Now, he didn't say $10,000 in vouchers, because if it's $10,000 in vouchers, it's something that's going to be late most of the times. Well, that's a whole other conversation. But what do you think about it? Is that something that would get you moving and grooving, or no? So anyways, I don't know. Anyways, an ice cream store says that it won't serve officers in body armor. Take a listen to this. Detroit, Michigan, an ice cream shop in Detroit says that it will not serve a police officer who shows up wearing body armor. Cold Truth made a post on social media saying that the armor is intimidating and not welcoming to family-friendly business.
It's just the uniform. It's the Kevlar. It's that dress. We ask that, after the shift, please come by.
Owner Timothy Mahoney says that officer will be served if they remove the vest. Detroit Office Chief James White has issued a statement saying that officers wear armor to ensure that they will go home. Cold Truth ice cream shop owner Timothy Mahoney wants police to remove their bulletproof vests before ordering.
This militarization of, the dress and everything and the cars being all blacked out, it's intimidating.
Something tells me, my friends, that Timothy Mahoney is not going to be a popular dude in his neck of the woods, whatever the hell he has going on, because that's probably just not going to sit well with people just for the sake of doing so. Anyways, an 11-year-old arrested for attempted carjacking. Did you hear that? Yes, an 11-year-old has been arrested for attempting carjacking. Wyoming authorities have arrested an 11-year-old boy who attempted a carjacking in an assault. Police Lieutenant Brian Look says the 41-year-old woman was attacked around 6 a.m. on Thursday.
She came across the attempted stolen vehicle in progress. When they were trying to get away is when the one assaulted her and struck her with a fairly large rock in the head.
The 11-year-old was caught hiding nearby, but has given up the information on the other people that he was with. Wyoming Lieutenant Brian Look says that the 11-year-old suspect is an attempted carjacking, has not given information on other subjects. So which is it? Did he or did he not?
You think of 11-year-olds as being, and hopefully, innocent.
So, I don't know. A lot of interesting stuff going on there. Anyways, a stolen SUV crashes into an East Point saloon. A stolen SUV has crashed into Kim Hare Car Care on 8 Mile Road in East Point down in good old Michigan. Owner Kimberly McAfee says that the crash happened early Monday. It's not related to the 11-year-old, just in case.
Because I didn't do anything wrong to anyone, so I don't know why anyone would want to, do any harm to me, show me hate when I just show love.
She says that she felt that it really evil as the two people inside of the vehicle ran off right after the crash. McAfee says that she is considering moving the business. Kim's Hair owner Kimberly McAfee says that the stolen SUV damaged her salon at East Point.
I thought that was just really evil. This makes me feel like I have to really watch out, because if someone would do something like that, for no reason, who knows what they're capable of.
So who knows? Who knows? I mean, it sounds like some strange times on some things that are going around and about and moving and grooving and talking and doing all that kind of fun stuff that we get to do. Anyways, there you go. 33 minutes past the top of the hour. I think you know what I'm going to tell you. Well, normally I would tell you that it's time for some news stories, but I got something for you. We don't do a main story on Friday because it's free form, baby. So let's continue.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
So do you feel like you're missing out on what everyone is starting to do now, that live streaming thing, and you don't know where to start or what to do? I have the resource and the information to provide to you in regards on how you can stream onto 40 social media platforms all at one time. Yes, that's 40 social media platforms all at one time. All you'll need to do is go to safetyfm.com/1. That's safetyfm.com/1. That's ONE. So just in case, and you'll be able to start live streaming just like you're hearing people starting to do right now, up to 40 social media platforms.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and were not 100% sure on what they meant. Things as
mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things.
Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain. What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
It's a new year, but it's feeling harder than ever to find and hire qualified people you need, especially for small businesses. That's where LinkedIn Job comes in. They make it easier to find people you want to talk to faster and for free. You can create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience and use screening questions to get your role in front of the most qualified people. Then use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering qualified hires versus leading competitors. I have to tell you that we have used LinkedIn Jobs to even find some of the people that we have here at Safety FM. LinkedIn Jobs can help you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your jobs for free on linkedin.com/safetyfm. That's linkedin.com/safetyfm to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And don't forget to tell them that you heard it right here on Safety FM.
We are now video streaming the Rated R Safety Show. I don't know why our host has a face for radio. Rated R Safety Show.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. Life on our fallen planet is richly seasoned with sorrow. Whereas one theologian said, there's enough sorrow in the most successful life to cause us to question God's goodness and His competence. Truthfully, no one goes through life unscathed. Sooner or later, we all have to contend with tragedy and its aftermath. We can give in to despair, hug our hurts, and make a shrine out of our sorrow, or we can offer them to God as a sacrifice of praise. The choice is ours. Hebrews 13 says, with Jesus' help, we will continually offer our sacrifice of praise to God. Lord Jesus, pain and disappointment tempt us to despair. Forgive us when our faith fails and strengthen us in the hour of trouble. In your holy name we pray. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining.
Okay, there you go. 41 minutes after. This is I Despise by No Sons of Mine. Oh, yes, the song's readily available on Spotify and iTunes. I'd like to thank No Sons of Mine for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. Almost full form there, buddy. Some heavier tones on this lovely Friday. What are you thinking? Here you go. You ready for the last part? I make them nice. Oh, yes. So, there you go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I Despise. We can listen to some heavy metal all day. You know how it goes. Oh, I know some people are not going to love me, but it's okay. It happens. I like music. I like all kinds of weird music. You might deem it weird. I think it's just kind of normal to what I listen to. And if you ever get to, if we ever get to hang out together and you want to take a look at some of my playlists of stuff, you might be surprised on some of the things that you might find inside of there because I tend to play a little bit of everything. Anyways, with that being said, let's continue talking because it's important for us to communicate on this lovely Friday. By the way, some of the messaging inside of here on Friday, I sometimes wonder, is it kind of to see the shock value on how I will react once I read it? Or is it really what people are really thinking out there? Because that's the other portion. But hey, it is what it is. So let's continue talking. Let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime. And that is about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local community whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. To find out more information, all you have to do is call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or text the word TALK to 741-741. That is kind of the way that the world lays out there in regards of doing so. So, there you go. Anyways, let me ask some weird questions here just to kind of hang out. Do you think you are ready to do an in-person event? Do you think you are ready to move forward with meeting in person and moving forward? And if you had the opportunity to do so, where would you want to do it? Is there anywhere that comes to mind that you go, that might be a good idea to do it in that area? And I don't know why I keep on talking about this. I keep on summarizing this. I will tell you that our biggest fan base, our biggest fan base in regards to the station normally comes out of all places, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's where we get the most listeners from. I don't know why it works out that way. It just does. But we've been talking about doing some of this stuff. And I'm talking about listeners on the radio side. I've been talking about doing some of this stuff. And I just keep on wondering, if we went to Baja California and did something, would that make sense? Or would you like to see something in the Florida area, not far from where I am located, just in regards to being able to do something? Just some questions to think about, of course. Would you be interested in doing something in person? Because then the question becomes, if you do something in Florida, would you want to see something in Orlando? And what month? What month of the year? Because I think you start looking around and start going, well, let's do something in Baja, let's do something in Orlando, but what's a good month to do it? You don't want to come here in the hot months or go there in the hot months, that's for sure. And I am talking about Baja California, and depending on where you're located, it could definitely change some things in regards of structure and heat and all that kind of stuff. Or do we just say, hey, let's call it and let's go to Pittsburgh? But let's be realistic. If we're going to Pittsburgh, we need to go to Pittsburgh quick. And the reason why I say Pittsburgh quick is because nobody wants to go when it's hotty-dotty over there. The heat index does play a factor in some of the things that we do. So let's just be realistic with that. Anyways, let me get off that tangent and let me get into some other things that are going on inside of this lovely world of ours, because I think that you might want to have some combo convos of what the hell is going on inside of the world. So with that being said, let's move forward and talk about some things that are going on inside of the world. Why did I just get this news story in? Let's take a look-see here about what was that. Okay, so I love when people send me news stories because I just don't know. Am I supposed to read it like right there on the moment, on the spot, or am I supposed to kind of wait for a moment and go, okay, let's take a look at what's going on? I never know on what is expected. So there you go. Some things to think about for sure. So anyways, let's just get into some news stories about what is going around and circulating inside of the world of the news. I am still in shock by this, but I'll mention it once again. If you were getting ready this morning and watching some Netflix in regards to what was going on with Stranger Things, well, I think you kind of heard what has happened, so let's do that. Netflix crashed all around the world as millions of viewers tried to stream Stranger Things 4 Volume 2. The highly anticipated episode dropped at midnight Pacific time, and Netflix went down around the world, including Australia, India, and the U.S. just a few minutes later. Global uptime monitoring website downdetector.com saw a spike in users reporting problems with Netflix right around the release time and of new episodes. There's no word yet of Netflix on what caused the crash. I would say the users caused the crash. I don't think it's hard to figure out. So there you go. Anyways, LA City Council bans new trucking operations in neighborhoods near the port of LA. The Los Angeles City Council has temporarily banned new trucking operations from neighborhoods from the port of LA. This woman is tired of seeing a parade of noisy semi-trucks go past her house.
It's very annoying because, big semis coming in and then just in and out, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, the ordinance bans new trucking operation from Wilmington in Harbor City for 45 days. This comes after months of complaints from residents of semis cutting through and idling and parking in the neighborhood. There have been numerous complaints of traffic noise and air quality as well. The city is also taking steps to go after existing trucking companies that operate in neighborhoods without permits. So how the hell are you getting into neighborhoods and being able to do this? And nobody said anything until now. I mean, it's kind of an interesting one. So let's talk about some world of the weird, because why not? It is Friday. Let's see. Mexican mayor marries an alligator. Yeah, San Pedro Jamelo, Mexico. The mayor of a small town in Mexico is marrying an alligator. Mark Mayfield has more data.
A festive wedding ceremony was held Thursday night in the village of San Pedro Huamulula in the southern state of Oaxaca that saw Mayor Victor Hugo Sosa marry a small alligator wearing a white wedding dress. The wedding was part of an ancient tradition dating back to pre-Hispanic times in Mexico, where some indigenous cultures believe the alligator is a deity representing Mother Earth. Oaxaca is rich in indigenous cultures that still use their traditional languages and rituals. I'm Mark Mayfield.
I would not like to see that happen in Florida, where somebody decides to say, hey, let's go ahead and go out there and marry an alligator. Have you seen some of those suckers out here on how big those things are? I don't think I would want to mess with that. Anyways, 9 shot in a drive-by outside a Newark bodega. Investigation continues after 9 people were gunned down outside of a bodega in New Jersey, largest city. Jennifer Pulsoni reports.
Police in Newark believe bullets were fired from a stolen white Honda Pilot around 6:30 Thursday night in front of a bodega on Shepherd Avenue in Clinton Place. 9 people, including a 17-year-old standing outside, hit in stable condition after being treated for gunshot wounds. Unclear how many shooters were involved in the incident that marks the 19th mass shooting in the country since June 20th, according to a national database tracking shootings. Jennifer Bolsoni, NBC News Radio.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer, for that one and letting us know what exactly is going on inside of the world here, because that's always important as we are talking. So let's go back into the mode. Let's go back into what is going on out there. So that's crazy. 9 people shot in regards of that occurring. Let's continue here. Take a listen to this one. California gas tax increases today, just in time of what expected to be one of the busiest travel weekends of the year. California gas tax goes up today. Daniel Martindale has more
The
info.
gas tax is rising by nearly another 3 cents per gallon, taking it to a total of 54 cents per gallon. The gas tax is adjusted each year to keep up with inflation. It comes as lawmakers urge Governor Newsom to suspend the state's gas tax to give drivers a break from near record high prices. Today's average price for a gallon of regular in Ventura County is $6.30. That's a cent less than LA County and 4 cents more than Santa Barbara County. I'm Daniel Martindale.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for that one, letting us know what exactly is going on. It is currently 52 minutes past the top of the hour. I think it is time to come in and have Johnny Smalls talk about what is going on with the Motivation Minute. So let's go ahead and do that. I think we should do it, well, right now. What do you think? What do you think?
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Jennifer. It's not actually a quote today, but more of a great observation. A bottle of water at a warehouse store is 25 cents. The same bottle at a supermarket is about 50 cents. That same bottle at a bar is $2. How about a good restaurant or a hotel? It's maybe $3. Now, in an airport or on an airplane, that exact same bottle of water is probably $5 or more. The bottle and the brand is exactly the same. The only thing that changes is the place. Each place gives a different value to the same product. When you feel like you're not worth much and everyone around you belittles you, change places. Do not stay there. Have the courage to change places and go to a place where you're given the value you deserve. Surround yourself with people who really appreciate your worth. Don't settle for less. You are worth more. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by AlessaMorgan.com. We hear a lot these days about dopamine hits, how dopamine is involved in pleasure, and even dopamine fasting. In reality, dopamine does a lot of different things, but its main functions are around movement, motivation, and in learning what brings rewards and what doesn't, not in rewards per se. Dopamine is also essential for attention, which is why a lot of prescription drugs for the treatment of ADHD tap into dopamine pathways. There are also supplements and certain types of nutritional programs that can achieve similar things, although generally not with the same degree of potency. In short, dopamine is not about pleasure, it drives motivation, it mediates reward-driven learning, it is not infinite but renewable, it is also involved in movement, it plays a role in vision, and it can be controlled. For more information on wellness, check out AlessaMorgan.com.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Trying to be something entertaining does not actually have to be it. Anyways, President Joe Biden apparently has no plans to ease the cost of gasoline. When asked on Thursday how long drivers should pay higher gas prices, Biden said as long as it takes, suggesting that there is some sort of nobility in forcing Americans to pay at the pump. I don't know how that works. So there you go. Some things to talk about. I don't know what he's going to be able to control with that. Just something to think about as we are talking. Anyways, no winner for Tuesday night's Mega Million drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for $360 million jackpot or $199.3 million cash payout. A Vermont resident matched all 6 Powerball numbers on Wednesday night's drawing. The winner has the option of $366.7 million jackpot or a $200.8 million cash payout. Saturday night's drawing will be for $20 million jackpot or $11.4 million cash payout. So it is now time to play the game if he decides to do so. So here you go. These are the albums that are dropping today. Burna Boy, Love Damani, Carlos Truly, Not Mine, Frank Meadows, Dead Right, G Perico, 111th East, More Mother, Jazz Codes, Municipal Waste, Electrified by Brain, Nick Ziner with 41 Strings, and Paige Kennedy with Front Page. So there you go. Some stuff to talk about. So here you go. some other things to talk about real quick because we mentioned it earlier in the week. We're going to talk about it now. Howard Stern already knows who he would want to be the VP if he decides to run for president in 2024. This guy is going to bring in the female vote like you wouldn't believe. My vice president would be Bradley Cooper, Stern told his SiriusXM listeners on Thursday. He explained that he had already discussed the plans with the actor and both agreed that they would be on the winning ticket. Stern's desire to run is from his hatred of former President Donald Trump running again. So there you go. I think good old Mr. Stern is having some good old times at his radio show talking about what he thinks that he would be doing and just to see how other people will react to the thought process of him doing so. So there you go. Anyways, with that being said, let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 2021, Prince William and Prince Harry unveiled the statue of their late mother, Princess Diana, on what would have been her 60th birthday. The Brussels commissioned the statue back in 2017. It is displayed in the redesigned Sunken Garden in Kensington Palace. So there you go. Anyways, let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. Storm Reid turns 19. Chloe Bailey, 24. Lunca Vasquez, 31. Hillary Burton turns 40. Forrest Griffin, 43. Liv Tyler, 45. Missy Elliott, 51. Pamela Anderson. I was actually watching a documentary about her last night. 55. Carl Lewis turns 61. Alan Ruck, 66. Dan Aykroyd, 70. Debbie Harry, or Roxy or Blondie, however you want to call her, 77. And Jamie Farr from MASH fame turns 88 today. So there you go. What else did we have going on? Let's talk about some days of the year that you can celebrate if you're so inclined to do so. National U.S. Postage Stamp Day, National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day, National Ginger Snap Day, Zip Code Day, second half of the Joke Day, International Reggae Day, International Joke Day, and of course, last but not least, Canada Day. So some things that you can go out there and celebrate if you're so inclined to do so. So with that being said, it is 58 minutes past the top of the hour. We will not be here on Monday, just so you know, for celebration of July the 4th. So just for some thoughts about that. Anyways, if I can leave you with a random joke of the day, well, I don't have one because we're almost out of time. But anyways, thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, we couldn't do what we do around here. If I can leave you with a thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Go places where you want to be. Don't stay at places that you don't feel that you belong. That's something to think about. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye. If you want to, come over to RadioBig.fm for the next couple hours or so for us to get to hang out and do some things together. See you there.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.